Evening, Celtics Nation. Another episode of CB on the Seas. Game 8 at home against Milwaukee. Celtics pull it out. 117, 113. Home team holding serve just like in the playoffs last summer. Great game. Celtics still on a heater. It's a nice little groove we got going into this big long road trip. CB's pull-up three, first point. With no Brown today, was hoping for some more significant minutes from Rob Williams, but instead we got Shemi starting and more Rozier and more Gordon Hayward, which turned out to be a good thing. Turns out that probably playing Rob Williams a lot against Giannis and Brook Lopez would have been a disaster. Turns out Stevens knows a little bit more about coaching than me. Second point, in terms of coaching, Stevens playing Hayward in the second quarter while resting Kyrie was a nice move. First, being able to rest Kyrie, and also it was nice seeing Hayward initiate offense. Is easily his best game of the season. Handled the ball a lot, ran a lot of offense. He's a good player. Can't take credit for that point. That point was sort of raised by Danny during his appearance on the broadcast in the second quarter, and I would have to agree with him. Looks like it was something that they had planned for, and Stevens had probably been working on it in practice. Third point is the statistic. Hayward's minutes. It was all about Hayward tonight, as far as I'm concerned, and Kyrie. But Hayward's minutes, he played 27 minutes tonight, which was his season's high. And his numbers have been slowly ticking up. Last four games have been 24, 24, 26, and 27 minutes. So it looks like he's getting sharper. It looks like he's getting his stamina. He definitely played with a lot more aggression tonight. I guess he's been making comments about sort of being unsure of himself out there, physically uncertain. He definitely didn't play like that tonight, so I'm hoping, and everybody's hoping, that he's sharpening up and not really feeling the effects of the injury as much as he had been at the beginning of the season. We all know what that's like. Big players coming off big injuries. Tom Brady was pretty shaky in the pocket for about a season and a half after his busted up knee in '08. So we all know what that was like. We hope it doesn't happen again, of course. So the top three stars of the game. Number 3, you got to go with Giannis. The guy's incredible. He, I always say he like hooks his elbow and wards off every move he makes to the rim. But he's a pro. He's incredible. He can't be really guarded. Celtics, threw a lot of guys at him. Morris had the roughest time. He got roasted a few times in the third quarter. It was sort of a blight on his otherwise good performance. Shemi did a good job, just like he did in the playoffs against him. But, he sort of kept him in there, kept him in the game. Second star, it was close. I didn't know if I should give the number one star to this guy or not, but Hayward, easily his best game of the season, was very aggressive, showed no tentativeness whatsoever, hit his first three in the first quarter right off the bat, had a couple nice moves, played a lot, was in the mix, got his nose dirty defensively, which we really haven't seen. But I have to give the number one star to Kyrie. Another fantastic game. That's 2 in a row. He's got 60 points in the last 2 games, and it's really his shooting. He would compensate for his lack of shooting the beginning of the season with his influential ball handling and just general influencing the game in other ways, but his scoring, and especially his three-point shooting, has really come online. Last game against Detroit on Tuesday, he was 4 for 7, and today he's see, I think he was 6 for 12. Yeah, he was 6 for 12. So that's over 50%. And at the beginning of the season, the games up until that, he was 7 for 29. So under 25%, just under 25%. So, and he, he had a nice stretch in the, when was it? Third quarter. In the first 90 seconds of the third quarter, he had 3 threes in a row when they really stretched out the lead, and that was really enjoyable. That was more vintage Kyrie. We saw a little vintage Kyrie last game. We saw plenty more this game. The 3 stains on the game, 3 bottom stains on the game. The third one was Chris Middleton. This guy is a Celtics killer. He kills us. He shot over 60% in the playoffs last summer. But he had a rough game. He never really got it going. He had a couple big shots at the end, but he had also a couple turnovers. What did he end up? He's minus 11, and he was 3 for 10 from the arc. Only had 16. This guy was an assassin, a dead-eye shooter. Killed us last year, and he sort of had a dud today. Number 2 stain on the game was Baines. That guy was a mess. He missed his first 4 threes. I think he had an air ball. I think his first one was an air ball. He had an almost air ball free throw. I guess you could sort of give an excuse that he's preoccupied with Giannis out there, but I don't really feel like giving him an excuse. Number 1 stain on the game was Bledsoe. Just because he's a jerk, mostly, but he also had a bad game. Missed a key free throw in the dying embers of the game, and had a boneheaded play where he got the ball and drove it down the paint when they were down by 3 and needed a 3-pointer to tie the game. Mike couldn't really figure out what he was doing, and neither could I. My closeout point is a recommendation for a retail store, Marathon Sports. It's number 1 running specialty store in Boston. They have a bunch of stores. Melrose, Boston, Cambridge, Wellesley, Brookline. I go to the one in Brookline. It's a great homey little store, little retail shop. Go find John, the manager. He's a nice guy. He'll hook you up, set you up with a nice pair of shoes, some warm weather running gear, and they're on 1638 Beacon Street, right at the intersection of Washington and Beacon. And they're fantastic. So next game is first game of the 5-game road trip over 9 days, and that's Saturday night at 7 o'clock against the Pacers in Indiana. See you then. Bye.